Hello everybody and welcome back to A Royal Reader. My name is Cece and today I'm going to be doing my 5-star predictions for 2021. Now, all of these books are books that I currently already own. I was thinking about including some of the anticipated releases that I think I'm going to really enjoy, but I decided to just keep it to my current own TBR so that I can give myself more intention, I guess, in actually trying to finish them. Let's get started. We have a few different genres here. We have some YA fantasy, we have some adult high fantasy, we have historical fiction, and we also have a sci-fi. So let's get started. Fairy lights have been turned on. So let's get started. The first book that I think I'm going to give 5 stars to is this Whopper here, Gemina, by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. This is the second book in the Illuminae File series. I have not read this, but when I first read Illuminae, I absolutely loved it. I cried at the end of the book. It is the first book that I have ever read that is made with mixed media. So obviously all of the other books as well have been made with mixed media. So there's like emails and chat logs and very interesting stuff like this throughout the entire book. So I'm really interested to see what happens. I know that each of the different books in the series follow different characters. Some of them I do think have characters from the first novel. Yes, I do believe that I'm going to have to reread Illuminae so I can refresh my mind on the whole world and the characters and just the plot of the whole world, I guess. I'm super excited to read this. This just seems like it's going to be incredible and very fast-paced and crazy. I believe I read Illuminae within one sitting, and I can definitely say I'm probably going to do the same with this. Almost 660 pages, surprisingly, even though it looks like a massive chunker. Yes, I think I'll be able to because it is a mixed media book. So yeah, that's the first one. Next is another chunker. A lot of these books are actually chunky, so that should be interesting. And that's going to be the first high fantasy adult book on this list, and one that I am very intrigued about, and that is The Ruin of Kings by Jen Lyons, I think is how you pronounce her last name. I mean, it's got a dragon on the front. If a fantasy book has dragons in it, it's 9 times out of 10 usually the best thing in the world. So I am really intrigued to see what this is like. I have heard nothing but amazing and good things about this series. I just know that everybody loves it, so I am intrigued to pick this up. So, when destiny calls, there's no fighting back. As a bard's apprentice, Kieran grew up on heroic tales, yet he also steals desperate to escape queers. Why do fantasy places always have to have really difficult names? And when he raids the wrong house, he is marked by a demon, and life will never be the same. Wow. Oh yes, I remember this. So there ends up actually being a prophet. Louis. There ends up actually being a prophecy about him. So he attracts royalty who claim him as their immoral heir's lost son. So there seems to be a lot of political intrigue in this, and I'm really excited to see what it's like. I don't think I've read a high fantasy adult in a while. One that's like, you know, set in medieval times, I guess. So yes, I'm intrigued. Alright, next we have a historical fiction that I am really excited about. It does have sort of fantastical elements within it, so I think you know what I mean. This book is in fact The Lovely War by Julie Berry. This is a historical fiction that follows Aphrodite as she is having to get trialed for sleeping with somebody, I think. Yeah, she has to face judgment on Mount Olympus, and so she is telling this love story between 3 different couples, and it's over the course of, I think, World War II, possibly? Oh, so it's World Wars I and II. The fact that it has Aphrodite in this, and it's following her as she is having to, like, you know, prove about love, I think. Maybe she's having to prove that love does exist. I'm not entirely too sure. But I am super excited about this. I know a lot of people really enjoyed this and they say that it is quite emotional towards the end. I am just ready for this. Another book that I have on my list is a recent YA fantasy, and that is in fact A Song of Wreaths and Ruins by Roseanne A. Brown. Just look at this cover. It is fascinating and stunning. Like, ugh. So this is a fantasy that has West African mythology elements to it. We have two main characters. One is Karina, I believe, and the other one is Malik. So Malik is a very poor guy, and when he's trying to enter the city, his little sister gets kidnapped by a magical jinn, I think. No, vengeful spirit. In order to get her back, Malik has to kill the princess. Bring in the princess, who is in fact Karina. She is hellbent on trying to discover who has killed her mother because she thinks that it is a murder, and so she decides to delve into some dark magic, and with something that she has to complete, she needs the heart of a king. So she holds these games where the winner of the games can actually have her hand in marriage. Enter in Malik, who wants to kill the princess, and we have enemies to lovers. I am just so excited. I have heard nothing but good things about this book. I don't think anybody has given this lower than a 4-star. I am just super excited to get into this. I cannot wait. And I do believe the sequel and the final book for the duology comes out this year. I think possibly in either March or June. I'm not entirely too sure, but yes, I'm excited. And then last but not least for this list, we have a oldie but a goodie. It's a brick. She is a brick. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get through this, but that is going to be Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. This is the 7th and final book in the Throne of Glass series. I fell out of love with reading just after I had read Empire of Storms. Yes, so I unfortunately didn't get to read this when this first came out. I am still a few books behind, so I am doing a reread to try and catch up to the last and final book, and I just know that this is going to tear my heart out. I remember reading Empire of Storms and just sobbing so many times during that book, and I have no doubt that this book is going to affect me the same way because it is a closure to one of the best worlds that I have ever read from, and Sarah J. Maas is definitely one of the biggest inspirations for me as a aspiring author. And I definitely take a lot of inspiration from her work, and so just to see this world come to an end is going to be bittersweet, but I am excited to see what happens and how many people survive. This is almost 1,000 pages. This is almost 1,000 pages. It's like 978. Holy shoot. That's insane. So those are all of the books that I am thinking I'm going to give 5 stars to. I will come back to this video at the end of the year and see if I was correct or not. I have a feeling I might be. There's a couple I think I might end up giving 4 stars to, but we shall see how that goes once I read them. I don't have any of these planned on my TBR yet. I don't know how I'm going to get them planned onto my TBR, but we shall see because I do actually have a TBR game. It is called Roll20 TBR, so it is a D20, a dice that has 20 sides game, inspired by D&D. So if you would like to see what I rolled myself for January, which I have not completed, go ahead and check that out in the cards. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what some of your thoughts are on these books if you have read them, but please don't spoil me. I really want to go into these not knowing very much. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and let me know down below in the comments what you enjoyed about it. If you enjoyed seeing me, then please don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well, and also be sure to check out all of my social media links if you would like to stay in touch with me. I have Twitter and Instagram and Goodreads always linked down in the description box, so do be sure to check those out, and I will see you guys in another video later on.